Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go over how to mount the Humminbird side imaging Solix 15 transducer onto your jack plate to help you get a better image compared to the factory installation from Skeeter. So y'all stay tuned. We're going to show you how it's done. Okay, so here we're going to start with the Transducer Shield Saver. These folks send you a 3-piece bracket here that eventually becomes one piece, and you mount your transducer there, and you mount this to your jack plate via these holes up here at the top. These are all pre-drilled. They give you the hardware here in this package here, along with some very simple instructions to follow, and this shouldn't take very long. So what we got to do is take the current mounting bracket off of the back of the bug and take the transducer out of it and go from there. But the reason why we're doing all of this is because I'm not getting good images with my Humminbird Solix. I'm running a Solix 15-inch, and to me the images aren't just crystal clear like they should be for mega imaging. And after talking to a bunch of others, there's a reason for that. Step number one, and my bug's on the trailer here in my shop, as you can see, and in here on a leveling, you can see that I am now bubble. Here's the problem. You may be bubble on a level trailer in a level shop, but what you don't have is back here. This is where it's most important, is your transducer to be improperly mounted. And what I mean by that is this boat doesn't sit flat in the water. This boat sits up. Its nose lifts up out of the water. So therefore now this transducer is down at an angle like that. Okay, it's not flat like it's sitting right now. It's only flat when you adjust for the elevation of the boat, for the nose of the boat, the bow of the boat to be up, which puts this at an angle, which means those beams are shooting down and they're not becoming flat images. And then you can see here by looking directly onto it, it's got a tilt to it on the right side, a few degrees. And if you try to stick a level up there, you can literally see that this thing's not plumb at all. So we're going to plumb it out, we're going to level it out, and see if we can get some better images on the water. All right, so the first thing you need to do is come in here, power on your bug, give it some power, and then this apex comes with the Atlas 12-inch jack plate here on the back. So I've elevated it as high as it'll go, and then I trimmed the motor up. That way I've got a little bit of working room down underneath there. And what you need is a 1/2-inch socket, 1/2-inch wrench. So you can go one on each side, nut and bolt, and take 2 bolts off of that bracket right there. And I'm gonna leave that bracket on there because, as you can see, it has 3 screws in the glass, and I'm not gonna touch anything with glass on my boat. Don't know nothing about fiberglass, so I'm just gonna leave those as that little plate as it is. I don't care. Because we're going to relocate and install that bracket right in here that comes with the kit. So more to come. All right, the next step is to take this old mounting bracket off of your transducer. There's 6 screws here, and just take them off and take the bracket off, and you're not going to use it anymore. Phillips head screwdriver, number 4 is just fine to pull these 6 screws out. I've already pulled 4 out and taken out the other 2. You should have a 100% naked transducer to install the Shield Saver product. And there you have it. Okay, the next step is to take this mounting bracket here and the 6 screws that they provide you. And there is a edged statement here that says bow, which means it's going to the front of the boat like this. One way to determine if you pulled this off and you didn't take diligent notes is the bow is rounded, stern is square. So if you need a direction, bow is rounded, and again, it's right here carved into the bracket that they give you along with the 6 screws. Stern is square. Okay, so the next thing you have to do is put your transducer into the mounting bracket, and it has to go in here in a certain order. You need to put the back part in first, and then the front will snap in, for lack of better words, and then the bracket you just installed will align with a screw there to screw there, and similar on the other side. So real simple, it's nice and compact, fits, and this is the underbelly of it, and you can see the nose goes into the front of it, and your screw holes will line up. Make sure that you do the back first. Do not force it. If you do not start with the back, you're doing it wrong. Simple as that. More to come. Stay tuned. GoPro, stop recording. Okay, so this is the finished product. A couple things to note is your fat washer goes on the inside of your Atlas jack plate. This is a 7/16 heads on both sides. So grab your wrench, grab your socket, lock them down. They have the and a back off type of nuts, you know, with the filler inside there, so you ain't got to worry about that coming loose. And then also make sure that your transducer wire is coming down to the left just the same. A couple other quick pointers is number one, be extra careful when drilling this 3rd hole out. And yes, you do have to drill it out because the bracket doesn't 100% fit, and they tell you that in their instructions. This is aluminum basically, and it's real soft. So as you make that hole a little bit bigger, again, don't overdo it, but just get it big enough. As you can see here on the floor, I didn't have a whole lot of material coming out and making that hole just a tiny bit bigger. But nonetheless, that's what you got to do, is you got to drill that out as you saw. You'll also notice that the buckle strap gets a little bit interfered with, but again, I'm not worried about that. You can still wrench it down real tight, and you're good to go there. Other quick note is, as you're messing with the cable, you're going to need to loosen these 2 up here on top so you can pull you out some slack, and then it runs all the way down to your transducer. And again, it's made to free float there. You can push up as much as you want, but at the end of the day, you're going to want a little bit of slack there, and I'm not worried about it catching on stumps or anything else from that point of view. So just a couple of quick tidbits there of information. And these screws right there are used with a torque 15, just so you have that. To take the factory bolts off, again, was a 1/2 inch, and then these right here going back in are 7/16. So 3 simple tools plus a screwdriver. I did not put Loctite in there, but again, shouldn't have to, and you can really crank on those and lock them down. So looks good. Transducer should be protected, and more importantly, I should now get a nice even beam outside of the sponsoons of my bug here, so my images should look a lot better. And you can tell that it's level, and from a side angle you can see it has an up angle. That way when the boat's in the water, instead of being like that, it'll come down and be flat, and I should get a better image this way too. So up and down should be better, left and right should be better, because again, I am square on both directions. So I'm looking forward to putting the bug back in the water and see what this mega imaging can do for me. Tie lines, everybody. Y'all go rip some lips. We'll see you on the water.